Heather Vickery. For those of you who are new, my work is in helping conscious, heart-centered leaders learn to lead from embodied joy. Because when we show up from a place of joy as our set point, as our foundation, we show up differently. We engage differently. We inspire differently. We can change the world, right? So this is a really beautiful shift from the powerful patriarchy standpoint into a matriarchal standpoint. So it's not about power, it's about community. It's about love, it's about growth, it's about compassion, it's about trust. It's about the collective and the collaborative. But none of that works unless you work for yourself, unless you choose yourself. And that's what I wanna help people do. So I happen to be certified in like a gazillion different things, but positive psychology, human design, subconscious reprogramming, hypnotherapy, all of that. And I use all of these tools and resources. I show up here every Thursday at 12 p.m. Central to give you one new thing to think about, to start to visualize, to manifest, to create, to choose for yourself. Because the goal is to choose yourself bravely. When you do that, things start to shift. See, we can't change the people or the things around us. We can only change or control ourselves, our own thoughts, choices, actions, and behaviors. I call that taking radical self responsibility. When you choose yourself first, when you build from a foundation of joy and hope and possibility, it changes the energetic vibration of everything you do. You start to show up differently in all of the rooms that you're in with your loved ones, with your family, at work, with your friends. You show up differently. And when you show up differently, they start to become different. When we change ourselves, the people around us change. And I got inspired for today's topic because I was doing a private coaching session with a client a couple of weeks ago, and we identified that this particular client really wanted to build more play into their life. And I asked, what does play mean to you? And the answer was something that doesn't check off any boxes, something that I'm not required to do. And there is not necessarily an end goal, something that just feels fun. So we started creating a list of all the different ways that you can play and what play looks like. And you have to remember that play for you is probably going to be different than play for a lot of other people. Just like we have to self define bravery, we have to self define success. You're going to have to self define play. For some people, play is actual like playing sports or being super physical. That's not play for me. For me, play is reading a book or laughing a lot, or maybe it's doing a tarot reading or going to a sound bath, travel, adventure. Play can look different for everybody, and it does all the time. See, we have these old school rules that tell us that we can't be joyful or playful or hopeful until we have done X, Y, and Z, until we have earned it, until we have checked off all of these boxes. And I just call bullshit on all of it because it is not true. You do not have to do that to yourself. It does not make you better. It does not make you healthier. It does not make you stronger. So here are a few old school rules that are probably not serving you at all anymore. That you're responsible for solving everybody else's problems and ensuring everybody else's happiness. It's not true. You're not. And if you can let that go, you're going to find a form of freedom that you have never imagined before in your life. You've been told that it's better to be quiet, not draw attention to yourself, especially the women. Also, not true. To quote the famous Kamala Harris, I am not aspiring to be humble, and I hope that you are not aspiring to be humble also. It is okay to be loud. It is okay to take up space. It is okay to show up and demand that you get the attention you deserve. Maybe you've been told to just do what you're told. Just shut up, check off the box, just do the thing. Don't question it. Question it. I remember when my oldest daughter, who's 20 now, was about 11. She asked me if she believed in things because she believed in them or because I believed in them. And I said, I don't know. What do you think? It's so important to be checking in with yourself and asking yourself question and questioning the things around you and believing in possibility. As soon as you blindly believe something without any space for growth or change or transition or possibility, then you are limiting yourself. You're limiting your access, you're limiting your purpose, you're limiting what you can do for yourself and in the world, and it will change everything across the board. You do not have to check all the boxes. to be happy or successful or joyful or to play. And so what I shared with this client was, what if you prioritized play before work? Wait, what? She's like, "What? I can have dessert first?" Yes, you can. We're not talking about, maybe we're talking about taking the whole day off. Okay, sure, fine. But we're not talking necessarily about that. Maybe we're talking about 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour to prioritize something that brings you joy simply for the sake of it bringing you joy, that connects you with yourself or with the earth or with whatever it is that you want to be connected with, that gives you some space to be creative, to think, to breathe, to try something new, to be exploratory. And I suggested that she actually hold work hostage, that she not allow, she happened to be an entrepreneur, that she not allow herself to do her work until she had done something playful for the day. And she was so blown away by the possibility of this. It was really cool. TikTok, how are we doing on sound here? I just realized my microphone might be getting funky. Um, so I wanted to just go through today with you about a couple of things. I mentioned the Brave method earlier, and the Brave method is a beautiful approach to problem solving, dreaming, designing, building, and actually having a life that you're madly in love with. And it really does work in a 360 manner. You can apply it everywhere and anywhere. I have had clients use it to build businesses. I've had them use it to get through divorces, over grief of a loss of loved one. Um, Anything you can imagine, the Brave method works. So the B is for boundaries. And boundaries are limits that define acceptable behavior. And you get to decide what's acceptable to you. So, what if putting play first is a really radical boundary? What would that look like for you? Not the kind of boundary that you have to fight people over, but the kind that says to you, my joy is non-negotiable. This is about setting time and energy and emotional boundaries that start with you and for you so that you're not running on empty all the time. The R in the Brave method is what I call the 3 R's: reassessment, reframing, and resilience. So, those rules, the ones that you've been handed that don't serve you, that aren't for you, that don't honor you, it's time to hold them up to the light and ask some serious questions. Who do these rules really serve? Is it for me? Is it not for me? Reassess what it means, what work ethic means, what success means, what hustle means. How do you get to burnout? How can you avoid that? We don't want you to get to burnout. We want to stop this shit before it even starts. Look through the lens of joy first and see what happens. It's so brave to do that. It's so freaking brave to do that. And then the A in the Brave method is action and accountability. Play is not passive. Joy is not passive. Gratitude is not passive. They are powerful, actionable choices. And when you do them with intention, everything changes. You get to flip the script and make them come first. Hold yourself accountable for that. Get an accountability partner. Work with me, work with a coach. Allow people to come in and help you stay true to yourself and prioritize your joy, your play, your hope, your possibility. Start the day with it. Tell other people about it, claim it, declare it, right? Put it out there so that it exists. The V is for vulnerability. It takes a lot of guts to admit that you want more pleasure, more joy, more play in your life. It takes even more guts to prioritize them in your life in a world that might roll their eyes at you for doing so, in a world that is going to tell you that if you don't do it XYZ way, you're doing it wrong, or you don't have the rights to joy, hope, pleasure, play, because you do. You have the right because you exist. You are worthy because you exist. You are worthy simply because you are here and you are worthy. Do not let anybody ever tell you anything different. And then the E, which is the end result of the Brave method, expansion and empowerment. When you show up for yourself, when you fill up your own cup, when you choose your own joy, your own happiness, and your own pleasure, all of a sudden, your creativity, your leadership, your energy, that yes energy, that joy expands and it is contagious. Remember that expansion and empowerment are inside work. Nobody can give you these gifts. You have to give them to yourself. You have to show up for yourself. I can coach, guide, mentor, lead, cheerlead, support. I can do all those things. I hope to do all those things. I love to do all of those things. But the empowerment and the expansion, you have to do that part by showing up for yourself, by picking yourself, by prioritizing play and joy and fun and possibility. There are so many ways that you can do that. If you are looking for a big, grand way to do that, I invite you to join me in Costa Rica. January 2026, we are going to Costa Rica. It is a beautiful private resort called MLO Institute. And I will tell you, there is something magnetic about the land. I was blown away when I was there. So there are a lot of ley lines right there on that property. But the best way I can describe it is that when I was standing on that land, it felt like there was a golden cord that came up from the earth through my body and connected me to the cosmos. I literally vibrated with the energy of the universe. It is impossible to leave this space without transformation. So I cannot promise what everybody's transformation will be, but I promise it will happen because we are creating intentional space for play, for self compassion, for compassionate inquiry to learn about ourselves, to connect with the land, and to be in a shared space with other humans who are heart centered, conscious leaders just like you. Somebody asked me once, "What problem are you solving with your retreat?" And I said, "We're not solving a problem, we're honoring a need to reclaim our peace, to prioritize ourselves, to journey into our own joy, to expand, to explore, to be adventurous." That's what we do on my retreats. 6 days, all inclusive. Prices start at $2,900. It's super reasonable. I would love to have you join us. If you're curious and you want to know more, please reach out. Um, I am going to pull a Create Brave card. I always love to pull a manifestation card before we end this live show, but I want to share one other quick thing that showed up for me this morning. I was on a call with my accountability partner, Eddie, who I adore. And we're talking about all of these things that I have in the hopper, all these creative ideas, these things that I want to do. And what I got so clearly, the message was, oh shit, my own personal block, my own limiting voice is that I'm not afraid of the creating. I love creating. I'm not afraid of the time or the energy it'll take. Creating is exciting. What I'm afraid of is that it won't be worth my time because sales and marketing are too hard. Holy shit. So, like, I know this message, I've heard this message before, but it came in really quickly. Like, that's actually my block. Now, because I have a lot of tools in my toolbox, a lot of resources and modalities, I knew right away I needed to do two things. One was create a subconscious reprogramming subliminal audio that sales and marketing are easy and that I'm abundant. And the other is to ask one of my fellow subconscious reprogramming colleagues to do some practice work on me or to trade with me because I don't want that. I'm not willing to accept that. See, that's the thing about awareness. Awareness is power. Once you know something, you either do something intentionally to change it or you live with it and you know that you're making the choice to live with it and it feels shitty. Awareness is the number one thing required to create any shift, change, or transformation in your life. So I was aware. All of a sudden, it was very clear what this block was. And I am not willing to accept that. So I'm going to do everything in my power to shift it, to change it, to do something different. So I have created the subliminal audio. I'm in the process of getting it listed up on my website. I realized that if I'm having this issue, other people are having this issue because I know that about myself. I know that when I get messages and downloads, other people are experiencing the same thing. So if you are in a space where you have to sell services or products or whatever, and you're really struggling with it, I have decided to offer this to everybody through the weekend, through next Monday. Today's Thursday for $8. I created it. I want to put it out there. I want to share it. I'm excited to do that. Very easy. So you can DM me. You can send me a message. Um, it's going to be super easy to get. I do not have short URLs anymore. I don't pay for that service anymore. But we're going to get it up and we're going to have it available. So if you are interested in that, comment or send me a DM and I will get you the link ASAP. I'm really excited about that. All right. So I have to put my data microphone down. I'm sorry if it's making noise, you guys, so that I can pull a Create Brave card. The Create Brave cards are a deck of manifestation cards that I co-created with my friend Rachel Swanson. She's the creativity coach. I'm the Brave Method coach. And so they are all about manifestation. They are all about looking at what's around you differently, being creative about how you problem solve or approach things, or calling yourself on your bullshit. So I always pull a card at the end of my live show because it's just a lot of fun. And I shuffle until the card that is meant for me. Oh, Woo! I got 2 of them, and they both feel really connected. The universe was like, "These are your cards." I got alignment and voice, and I love these. I love both of these because what are we talking about today? We're talking about hearing our inner voice and trusting ourselves and making choices that align us, right? How gorgeous is that? I love that. So when you see these, what do you know? If you get out of your own way, if you stop bullshitting yourself, what do you know? What do you hear? What does it mean, your voice? I speak my truth and I allow others to do the same. What does that tell you? What are you avoiding? What are you missing? What could you take intentional action on with your voice? And then the other one, alignment. God, I love this card. The pieces of my life play in harmony. The pieces of my life play in harmony. Alignment. What do you hear? What do you see? What do you know? If you get out of your own way and you listen to this word and you go, oh, this means this to me today. I needed this card today. How are you choosing alignment? Maybe you need to go on that Costa Rica retreat, right? Maybe you want to do some subconscious reprogramming or get to know your human design. Maybe you just need to get out of your own way. What can you do to be aligned? Play first, choose joy, pick yourself. So many options. I love it so much. All right, folks, I am going to head out today. That is what we've got. I am so excited to have been able to share this with you. If you are curious about Costa Rica, if you're curious about the selling with ease and abundance subliminal audio for $8, let me know. If you want a deck of Create Brave cards, let me know. We can get you your very own deck. I saw them on my website, Heather or vickeryandco.com/shop. You can find them. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Actually, that's where I'm going to put the subliminal audio as well on my shop. Yeah. Okay. So thank you guys for hanging out. I appreciate it. Reminding you today and every day to go out and choose yourself bravely, because if you don't, who will? And it's got to start with you. Whatever growth, whatever transformation, whatever joy, possibility, hope, pleasure, change you wish to see in the world, it has to start with you. And it can start today, and it doesn't have to be big, and it doesn't have to be hard. Be kind to yourself, be self compassionate to yourself. Choose yourself bravely. Thanks again, guys. My name is Heather Vickery. And as always, it is a pleasure to share space with you. Oh, one last thing. One last thing. I'm sorry. On Tuesdays, I'm hosting every Tuesday, free Ask Me Anything office hours. So if you have some burning questions, you want to just chat, get to know me better, ask about the retreat, learn about human design, subconscious reprogramming, anything else, please join me on Tuesdays at 12 p.m. for Ask Me Anything office hours. I would love to have you there. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.